What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Pet Shop Boys. And we're back with another bonus tune in the expanded folder for the 1988 album Introspective. Indeed, shout out to Seb, and apologies to Seb. I know I need to read the metadata more carefully. I have now done that, and I just didn't realize we had passed the point where we had finished the album proper and had moved into the B-sides, but indeed this is another B-side. And the track is called The Sound of the Atom Splitting, which inevitably and immediately makes me think of Oppenheimer and his quoting of the Bhagavad Gita, I am become death, the destroyer of worlds. The subatomic world, the molecular world, the regularities, constants, and anomalies that function for macroscopic beings like you and I, they simply do not apply, or certainly not in the same way. And ultimately, the power inherent in the atom, in chemistry and physics as we've come to know them, or the brightest minds among us have, is such that, there's great potential for, virtually limitless carbon-free energy, but also some of the worst carnage, destruction, and planet-destroying actions humans are capable of, which is to say, the splitting of the atom enables nuclear energy, but also nuclear weapons. So I feel like maybe you could be making a play here with the title in terms of the potential of human actions and human intentions to have the greatest of benefits, but also the most brutal of negative consequences, depending on how they're channeled. People often talk about love and hate being polar opposites, and yet they're both a similar level of intensity and emotion, so it's like that level of intense emotion channeled in very different directions. And again, with the concept of, atomic technology, nuclear technology, you're talking about the potential to create vast stores of energy, but also to unleash that on living beings and planet Earth, and perhaps, since the nuclear the advent of nuclear technology, the world has basically been locked in a horrific geopolitical stalemate in which, the lives and livelihoods of pretty much everybody constantly hang in the balance. So, all these things could be metaphors, and, I doubt the song would be about the science per se, other than maybe to make an analogy in the way that, again, human actions can be very beneficial or destructive depending on the emotion behind them or how they're channeled. I also feel like maybe we could be referencing the actual history. Again, I know they have songs about, cultural movements of earlier periods and, particular geopolitical snapshots in time. So yeah, I feel like it could be something like that. But I don't expect it to be about the actual physics per se. So yeah, I'm intrigued by this one. Let's find out what it is. This is Pet Shop Boys, The Sound of the Atom Splitting, a B-side included in an expanded folder for the 1988 album Introspective. Pet Shop Boys with clear and unambiguous acid work. Izzy was just talking about homages to the acid house scene.
I hate you. Nothing will ever be the same. Oh, really? Don't be silly. I told you it was all again. Whenever I see you with a word, it makes me feel like spitting. What's that noise? Oh, that. We've been expecting it for ages. It's the sound of the atom splitting. He's a villain. Him over there, with the stocking on his head. Look, there's another. They call themselves pinheads. What's that noise over there? Is it corrugated iron they're hitting? No, it's perfectly normal. It's just the sound of the atom splitting.
Which is apparently the sound of acid. sparkly acid too. I love it. Viscous. Reminds me like a Sven Voss track or something.
Whose side are you on anyway? Is that some kind of threat?
What are my options?
Well, I suppose it'll have to do. As long as you don't make too much mess.
I mean, it feels like we're in a dark psychedelic
Once you're finished hissing, turn the video onto record. Enjoy your missing bread and circuses.
It's like if Max Headroom had an acid virus.
Of the atom splitting.
There are a few coming together of different musical instruments that are just cool. Like a babbling brook of acid. It sort of echoed in like cavernous. The acid and the rhythm you can pop on too. Now granted, it's darker and more twisted than typical pop on music, but you can break it.
Sound of the atom splitting.
Layered acid. The dribbly. And then there's that more electrical, like, snaky lead. It's a bad trip, I'll tell you that. Hard floor, we're like, yeah. I like that. Shout out to Ramon and Oliver. Fuck. I apologize. I try to keep the profanity to a minimum, but seriously, that it's Pet Shop Boys with acid, and not a little bit, and not, just kind of a straightaway simple riff, but dribbly, dirty, liquidy acid. That's amazing. The whole thing did feel like a bad trip. I hate you said repeatedly, and voices echoed, like bouncing off different parts of your skull, like perhaps seeing trails, but not the kind that you enjoy, the kind that make it difficult to assess what you're looking at. I didn't get the essence of why the hatred was there, so I'll have to re-listen, and I blame the acid, but in the best possible way. I'm speechless at this point. This is going to go into the playlist immediately, so big shout out to Pet Shop Boys for playing around with a Roland TB303, and big shout out to Seb again for sharing all this material, including in a very detailed way that I don't always pay attention to, which, hey, you're not alone in that regard. There's people who've shared all sorts of things with me, and then I forget like little details, or I forget, I was supposed to do that one as a 2-for-1 reaction. Damn it. So, it will continue to happen. My brain is very finite. There's just more and more music coming, and I don't have an assistant, so, errors will continue. But ultimately, I will do my best to keep everything in the front view screen, and all you have to do if I do make a mistake is just say, hey, just making sure you know this, or next time you react to this, just remember that, this is the detail that you need to keep in mind. So, again, big shout out to all the friends and champions of the channel. Let me know what you think of this amazing PSB acid track, and I will see you next time. Peace.